We enter this world set up to fail, not knowing the rules of the game we're forced to play, tricked into unthinking, lost souls to the beat of the drum that just keeps on pounding. But still we march on, blankly staring straight ahead towards the cliff edge. One day the drum will break. Hi, this is my first piece of work like this, so I feel like I need to properly introduce myself. My name is Mike Johnston-Cowley. I'm trans, non-binary, and my pronouns are they, them. Pronouns, yes, I know, really scary. The singular they has only been around since like the 14th century, so I know we've got to give people a bit of time to catch up. I get it. Although the show is called Nobody Knows Me, it's not all about me. And I know that will come as a surprise and a bit of a shock to the people that follow me on Twitter. Sorry, X. Although I do feel that that's genuinely the one and only acceptable forms of dead naming. I started writing poetry in primary school. I guess probably a lot of people did. I actually won the Harvest Festival poetry competition. And although I was too nervous to read it out at the festival initially, I did decide that I would be brave and ended up reading it out in front of everyone. And I guess I've been writing poetry ever since. Now, I don't profess to be the best poet in the world by any stretch of the imagination. But I guess for me, as a neurodiverse person, putting thoughts down on paper or on my phone nowadays helps me make sense of the world around me and my own feelings. Quite often, things can get overwhelming and I struggle to articulate how I feel. Getting things down on paper helps me process so many complex emotions. Like pictures, frozen in time. The words remain printed. Tattooed on my heart. Tattooed on my mind. And that's how pieces of writing can feel like to me, like snapshots of emotions, not unlike a photo. Now, sometimes my older work can feel pretty cringe and a touch naive when I read them back, but they are all a piece of me and speak to a time when I yearned for change. What I've also found incredible reading my writing from my younger days is how it all makes a lot more sense now that I've come out as non-binary and now that I understand my neurodiversity. I often just felt so confused about my identity, about society, and about how to fit in with others. I don't know what it is. I can't explain. I'm here all the time, every day with the rain. I don't know what to say. Nothing can make you see. So many conflictions. I need to listen to me. I don't know what to do with what I have to hide. Will I ever understand all these feelings I have inside? When I think back to my childhood, I was always struggling to make sense of things and the world around me and how I fit into it. I was a very sickly child. Mumps, scarlet fever, chickenpox, meningitis. And being the youngest of 7 children, I was very much the baby of the family. Despite the constant arguments at home, I was still devastated when my parents separated. And I guess I just couldn't understand why I was only able to see my dad on the weekend. I always saw my dad as my protector. I remember a hot day we'd spent in the sun in Paynton, and I was largely unresponsive due to heat stroke. I was about 10 or 11 at the time. And I remember my dad picking me up and carrying me to the first aid tent. I have a similar memory from earlier in my childhood when I had meningitis and my dad rushing me to the GP. But I also remember fun times with my dad, not least when he would sneak me into work at the bus station, ignoring countless health and safety issues. I would help sweep the buses with him, but my absolute favourite thing to do was to sit on the double-decker bus as it went through the bus wash. The massive brushes sweeping along the bus, sounding like a hurricane. I loved it. With my mum, I will always remember her surrounded by smoke, thanks to her 20 a day Dodge de menthol cigarette habit. If you can conjure that image of the scene in Carry On Screaming, where Fenella Fielding is engulfed by smoke, imagine that constantly, only a lot less glamorous. All the while exclaiming to anyone who would listen, I ain't got no idea why our Michael has asthma. Those are the prolonging images of my childhood. Mother, where are you? Dad, I love you. Family, you can't see who I really am. You don't understand. Why can't I be me? I'm no longer little brother. Mother, I love you. But where are you today? I want to make you see. If only I could find a way. I've found as I've gotten older, my writing has matured and the things I write about has changed. What I've come to realize and what we have to remember about navigating the world as neurodiverse people is that we have so many different spaces to navigate and so many unspoken rules that we're just meant to know. And it's one thing to navigate the real world and try not to be consumed by it. But it's quite another to try to navigate the online social media world that has its own rules and expectations. We have to somehow be individual enough to not be called sheep, but conform enough to not be labeled as a troublemaker. Love yourself, but not too much. Don't be too quiet. Don't be too loud. What do they want from you? How do you stand out against the crowd? Be yourself. That's what they say. But what if myself is what they hate? Not knowing the rules of the games they play. Not one to hide away. My heart upon my sleeve. Lost in the crowd alone. Not knowing who to believe. Trying to make friends before I came to the realizations around my neurodiversity and my gender identity was tough. I felt I was just being myself, whilst those around me said I was weird or didn't act normal. I also felt like I didn't fit in anywhere. Not with the gays, not with the girls, just other. Not understood. My awkwardness mistaken for rudeness. My need to know what is going on, too overwhelming, too intense, too precise, too passionate, too much. But not enough. Not smart enough. Not cool enough to be invited. Be ignored. Have doors shut in my face. To be devoured and spat out the other side. Be held, then pushed aside. Be left out, the butt of the joke. To want to take another path, one that leads me away from the pain I didn't ask for, the ridicule I didn't deserve, not being you, not saying no. It can take a lot of strength and resilience to break out of that, to look inwards, to become the most fabulous version of yourself that you can be. They may say mean words. They may try to tear you down, but they'll never dim your light. Read the words, strike a pose, take the path that nobody knows, shine a light upon the dark, be the one to light the spark, scream out loud, laugh and dance, make the change, take the chance. It takes an immeasurable amount of confidence to stand up, to be yourself, to shout against the norm. You have to feel comfortable within yourself. You have to feel confident in your own beliefs. Take on the system. Now, people often confuse confidence with ego. It took a very long time for me to feel comfortable in my own skin. I'm in my 40s and it's still a work in progress. But because I finally feel confident in myself, because I finally believe in myself and not what other people and their own insecurities projected onto me, doesn't mean that I have a big ego. I've just chosen to love myself and my identity more than other people's opinion of me. Still a daily struggle. I still have times when I wake up, write, do my radio show, when I think to myself, who does this bitch think they are? I still get that imposter syndrome. I still get days when I don't feel good enough. And I think we all get days like that. And that's important to recognize. We all have rough days when we don't feel as fabulous. And on those days, we're still under the scrutiny of strangers online, waiting for us to slip up, judge us. When the lines return scrawled across my face, with the tattooed prose unwritten, my empty pockets hide an ocean of fear, tripping over in my broken shoes. My emotions stutter into place. When the dancing stops, glitter stranded on the shelf, mascara bottles run dry. Betrayed by my reflection, by the memories on the wall, by the dreams that haunt my sleep. I love being queer. I love being trans. I love being non-binary. But it can be so tiring. It can be so tiring when your entire existence is reduced to where I should go to the bathroom. Now, I take a risk-based approach when using a public bathroom. If there's not a gender-neutral option available, I generally use the men's because there's less risk of finding myself in the same room as J.K. Rowling. Living in Scotland, there's too much of a risk. I have embraced all of my gender, queerness, and neurofabulousness. What I love most about being non-binary is the freedom. Just the freedom to not be confined by society's binary system of gender. The freedom to buy and wear the clothes I want to wear. It really is like a choose your own adventure every single day, just for gender. Because I can change things up however I want. Break the binary, smash the door, break the nonsense, ask for more. Break the system, smash the ceiling, break the bullshit, find the feeling. Break the hatred and rise above. Smash the pain, hold on to love. One of the things I find funny is that as a transgender non-conforming person, I'm told all the time online that people hate me, or that cis women in particular don't like me presenting in a certain way. I will be judged for how I present myself. Now, when I go out in Glasgow wearing something more what society would call femme, a dress, high heels, etc., I do get comments from cis women, usually telling me that I look fabulous or asking me what brand of hair dye I use. So all of this fake outrage, and that's what it is, fake outrage. All of the judgment you see online is from a vocal minority who do not represent the cis women that they pretend to speak for. The main problems I do get when presenting a certain way is from groups of wee teenage boys. And that's what makes me laugh. Because these kids are going to stand there in their knockoff tracksuits, clones of each other, trying to mock me for the way I look. We don't need anyone's permission to embrace our queer fabulousness. Certainly not from strangers on the street. The euphoria of being me, walking down the street feeling on top of the world, smiles from the people that I meet. I'll wear my high heels, lots of sparkle on my face. Those tracksuited youth will never match my pace. The stomp and the strut, you will never take me down. Holding my head up high, 'cause queers run this town. No matter what I wear, I know that someone will judge me. Whether it's because I've dyed my hair, whether they think my shorts are too short, my heels too high, my look too queer. Because that's what it really comes down to. Too queer. But they don't know me, and I don't know them. Nobody knows anyone, really. Nobody knows you better than you know you. I think, especially now, in the age of social media, when everyone makes constant judgments about you based on the tiny bits of yourself you share online, because of the high standards we are all expected to live up to. You have to be the perfect version of yourself. But you have to be what the majority of people think you are as a person. Even when meeting people in real life, we're told that people make a judgment of you in mere seconds. Do you ever sit back and stop and think how much pressure that puts us all under? We are judged. We have other people's misconceptions, other people's insecurities projected onto us. Growing up, I had zero self-confidence. Zero. I would be in social situations and be the quietest person in the room. I would never have the confidence to speak up, to raise my head, to have an opinion. I never felt worthy enough of having something meaningful to say. I met someone more recently. This was someone I'd only previously spoken to on social media. We had a conversation that didn't last any longer than 3 minutes. That was long enough for them to make judgments about me. Now, through some random incidents, I discovered what they judged me as based on those 3 minutes. That I have a big ego, that I'm self-obsessed. Self-obsessed. I sat with that for a while and puzzled at their judgment. What they judge as ego is self-confidence. What they judge as self-obsessed is putting oneself first. What they judge as self-obsessed is the result of decades of not being good enough. What they judge as self-obsessed is the result of doors being slammed in my face. What they judge as self-obsessed is the result of being taken advantage of being used, of being ridiculed, and being told I have to change who I am. It's the product of being let down by others time and time again, taken for granted, used for pleasure, and pushed aside. It's years of being misunderstood, being unloved, feeling I am unlovable. It's a lifetime of thinking I'm wired wrong, too wrong for people to even like me. It's a result of being made to conform, made to bend and contort myself into a person I could never be. It's decades of not having the strength to be truly myself because I didn't feel worthy. What they judge as self-obsessed is what I had to do, what I had to learn to survive, to be standing here today. We all need to stop. Stop giving these instant judgments on the people we meet and believing that we have them stuffed. Everyone feels the same, and we all do it to each other. We all judge each other. And if we just stopped for a second and remembered that each individual knows themselves as much as you know yourself, then maybe we'd stop putting so much pressure on ourselves. and maybe not put so much energy into having to prove ourselves to others when they can never know. They can never know what you're really feeling, what you're really going through, how hard you're really trying. And we all make snap judgments. You all made the decision to watch this show today, and most likely had some preconceptions of what it was going to be like, or how good or bad it was going to be. Based on what? The promo image and the 30-second trailer? Now, this is just art. It's just a piece of work I've created. If you like it and understand the message, great. If you don't, that's fine too. It's just art. After the show, you'll close your laptop and go on with your life. I'll still be going on with mine, probably picking up cat sick or something glamorous. The same can't be said when you judge a person, when you can never really know them. Once that is out in the universe, you can't close the laptop. Block them out so they don't exist. Cover your ears, head up high. Let the words seep in, somehow infiltrate. But you blow them away like an autumn leaf, dead and unneeded. Head up high. Until the next time. What some of you may have picked up on is the title of this show is a Madonna reference. Nobody Knows Me is actually a song from her American Life album. And being a big Madonna fan, I see her as a constant inspiration. Now don't worry, I'm not going to jump on a bed and do the Like a Virgin routine. Or am I? Maybe next time. One of my favorite quotes from her is this: no matter who you are, no matter what you did, no matter where you've come from, you can always change. Become a better version of yourself. And I think there's a big life lesson in there, in that we're always striving to be better versions of ourselves. We are constantly evolving and changing. I'm already a more informed person than I was yesterday. And I'm already a more stronger and more rounded person by doing this show. No one can ever really know another person better than they know themselves. And so any judgment we can ever make is never going to be that person's full truth. This poem is called Nobody Knows Me. Idiot, the fool, the victim you crave, the husband, the lover, not allowed to misbehave. Clown, ego that's misunderstood, sibling, the friend, your presence no good, the trier, the helper, wanting to do more, awkward, the emotional. Each day is a chore. Pain, the joy, holding on to what's near, strength and weakness, not giving in to fear. Thank you so much for watching. This has been my very first show or anything like this. And I want to say a big thank you to everyone who has supported me. If you'd like to purchase any of my books, you can go to my website. That's mxmike.co.uk, mxmike.co.uk, and click on books. This, of course, has been a free show, but if you have enjoyed it, any tips will be greatly appreciated. So I will be posting my QR codes for my Cash App and PayPal straight after this. Otherwise, just give a thumbs up or a comment or subscribe. That also is greatly appreciated. Thank you again so much for watching. And I just want to leave you by saying protect queer art and support all queer performers. Thank you.